Money Time at Money 9 is here with all the personal finance news, and we begin today's bulletin with some exciting news for iPhone users. Owners of iPhones can start using 5G services from next week. The electronic juggernaut has said that iPhone users will get notification to upgrade to beta version of iOS 16 software, following which they will be able to use 5G services of both Airtel and Jio. The software update will be completely free. Users will get to use 5G on iPhone 14, iPhone 13, iPhone 12 and iPhone SE third generation models. It will be only next month that 5G will be available on other iPhone models. We move on to some more exciting news from another company from FANG, or should I say Mang, that Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Meta, has announced 4 new WhatsApp features. These features will be available in the next few months. Users will be able to create communities on WhatsApp. They will be able to add more than one WhatsApp group under one community. Users will be able to add a total of 32 people in video calls. WhatsApp groups can have a total of 1024 members. Users will also be able to create and conduct polls on WhatsApp. From tech, it's time to take a deep dive into the world of mutual funds. HDFC Asset Management Company has announced the launch of 2 new exchange-traded funds. What are those? Well, those are Nifty IT ETF and Nifty Private Bank ETF. Both the NFOs opened for subscription on October 28 and will close on November 9, 2022. According to the fund house, both the funds consist of the 10 largest stocks in the respective sectors listed on the NSE. Nifty Private Bank ETF will invest in banking stocks trading at valuations below the long-term averages. Both these funds will be passively managed. And more from the world of mutual funds. Passive and hybrid mutual funds have gained enough popularity in the last 2 years, but a newspaper citing Amphi data claims that active equity mutual funds still remain investors' favorite. Let's have a quick look at what data indicate. Net SIP inflow in active equity schemes accounted for 80% of the total SIP inflows in the month of September, while only 6% of net SIP inflows have been invested in passive funds, while hybrid funds accounted for 8% of the total SIP inflows. Total net inflows in active equity schemes was 5,325 crore rupees in September, while in other categories like debt funds, passive funds, etc. was just 1,074 crore rupees. This shows active equity funds still remain investors' favorite even when new categories are gaining traction. Well, AMCs have been having a good time, but the same can't be said for OMCs, because Oil Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has said that his ministry will inquire oil marketing companies that how much losses they have incurred as petrol and diesel prices were not increased in the country in the last 5 months. When asked whether oil retailers will reduce fuel prices, Puri said OMCs were still dealing with loss on diesel, but after a long time, OMCs have finally been able to make profit on the sale of petrol. International crude oil prices have fallen by almost 20% in the last 4 months, but petrol and diesel prices have not been reduced for the last 5 months in the country. Speculations were rife that oil retailers would reduce fuel prices, but it seems it's unlikely to happen soon. Currently, price of petrol in New Delhi is 96.72 rupees per litre and price of diesel is 89.62 rupees per litre. Just like petrol and diesel prices, stock market exchanges too have started to accelerate to T+1 settlement cycle, and more than 4,000 stocks have been moved to the T+1 settlement cycle. Every month, exchanges are expected to include 500 new stocks under T+1 settlement cycle mechanism. There are 5,288 stocks listed on the BSE, while NSE has more than 2,000 listed companies. India's move to T+1 settlement cycle is so fast that even the US will be able to shift all the stocks to T+1 cycle only by 2024. T+1 means the traded related settlements must be done within 1 day of the transaction's completion. So, if you buy shares on Tuesday, they will be credited to your Demat account by the next day, that is Wednesday. When you cut onion, you shed tears, but when onion prices go up, you tend to shed more tears without even cutting one. According to data of Department of Consumer Affairs, the average price of onion has increased by around 8 rupees per kilogram. Currently, onion is being sold at 31 rupees per kilogram. 1 month ago, price of 1 kilogram of onion was 23 rupees. According to CRISIL, onion produced in the Rabi season got destroyed due to incessant and untimely rain in states where onion is mostly produced. These states are Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Gujarat. But CRISIL also said that onion prices may not rise too much because the government had ample stock of onion available with it. Next up, we have some exciting news for shareholders of Navin Fluorine. So if you're an investor, pay close attention. The shares of specialty chemical stock Navin Fluorine traded ex-dividend on Thursday. The board of the chemical company had set November 4 as the record date for finalizing shareholders for dividend payment. In India, you need to have shares of the companies 2 days before the record date to become eligible for any event. This means those investors who had held Infosys shares on November 2 would get the credit of the dividend. Its board had earlier announced an interim dividend of 5 rupees per share for FY23. Up next, it's time for some IPO news. The IPO of Medanta brand of hospital chain got a muted response from investors. Thursday was the first day for applying for Medanta's IPO. Investors had subscribed only 20% of the IPO size at the time of shooting this video. Quota of retail investors was subscribed only 6%, while quota of qualified institutional buyers was subscribed only 54%. The shares of Global Health, which runs and operates Medanta brand of hospital chain, traded at GMP of around 19 rupees on Thursday. Up next, it's time for some IPO news. The IPO of Medanta brand of hospital chain got a muted response from the investors. Thursday was the first day for applying for Medanta's IPO. Investors had subscribed only 20% of the IPO size at the time of shooting this video. Quota of retail investors was subscribed only 6%, while quota of qualified institutional buyers was subscribed only 54%. The shares of Global Health, which runs and operates Medanta brand of hospital chain, traded at a GMP of around 19 rupees on Thursday. And we wrap up today's Money Time with some IPO news again. The IPO of snacks and sweets manufacturer Bikaji Foods opened its account on Thursday. Bikaji also got a similar response like Medanta on day 1. Thursday was the first day of the 881 crore rupee IPO of Bikaji Foods International Limited. Only 26% of the IPO size was subscribed at the time of shooting this video. Quota of retail investors could be subscribed only 47%, while quota of non-institutional investors were subscribed only 13%. Qualified institutional buyers quota was subscribed not even 1%. Although shares of Bikaji Foods was trading at a GMP of 52 rupees on Thursday, November 7 will be the last day for applying in the IPO. And it's time to call it a day here on Money Time at Money9. Do download the Money9 app and also subscribe to Money9 English's YouTube channel. This is me Ajay signing off. See you tomorrow at the same time. Until then, take care and good night.